Welcome to the Bootleg Zones. I can see clearly now, the trademarks are here. Dom, now if you'll excuse me, I must go take a ride on the Pooh Train. I gotta go take a These type of packs are where it's at, and you wanna know why? They're Edition 2! You guys all remember the extremely real Edition 2, right? They were so much better than Edition 1 because they were the Y run of the cards. There was base set 2, that was a thing, but edition 2, not as much. And it's possible a base set 2 pack is where they ripped this Mewtwo artwork from, since it was also featured on one of those. But as far as I know, there was never a pack that featured this Meowth artwork, and they just ripped that from the Team Rocket Meowth card. This pack was originally purchased at a thank you for $3.90. I feel like Sucker should have been on there somewhere as well. They still did the minimum stuff to try and make these things look legit by keeping the Nintendo seal and the Wizards of the Coast logo, but they didn't do quite as expert a job on the expert level logo. Also, these packs tell a much more bootleggy story than the other ones. They recreate this little Team Rocket is on the loose thing, but they almost have it on the side of the package on this one, and forget that little thing of capital letters. But here's where it really gets good. The number of criminal indents involving Pokemon has been on the rise. Some suggest it may have something to do with the rash of Pokemon kidnappings that have been occurring recurrently. Guys, you're already bootlegging the story on the other packs. Was it really that hard to copy? Oh, who even knows if it was the same people? But they were made in the USA. That is true as fuck. Now, before I delve into the cards from those packs, I'd like to talk about a few Pocket Monsters bootlegs I have. So obviously this one type here is smaller than a real card should be, it's got a lighter background, and it's missing the copyrights at the bottom. These ones are actually closer in size to those strange stickers of Pocket Monsters cards, though they aren't as pretty or terrifying. Some of these cards, however, did keep the copyright info at the bottom, so are a little harder to pick out. Again, the best way to tell with something like this is how clear the text at the bottom is. Both the smaller than usual cards are pretty easy to tell aren't legit from besides their size, especially as the Rocket Set Dragonite here is supposed to be a holo. And the clarity of the text on these makes it pretty easy to tell that these are a less than perfect copy. Almost all of these Pocket Monster bootleg cards I have also have a much glossier coating than the real cards do. There's obvious color difference going on here if you compare some of these next to their English version. However, since the Japanese ones have a different coloring than the English ones, that's not the best thing to go by. So unfortunately, most of the Pocket Monsters bootleg cards I have are trainer cards. But you can still see a few interesting things from the bootleggers here, like the really inconsistent color on these. And super quality! No, you're not going cross-eyed, I promise. The card really does look that bad. I also got a couple bootlegs of these type of Pokemon cards, which are the exact same size as the slightly smaller than usual Pocket Monsters bootlegs. And these two are bootlegs of these Topps Pokemon cards. You could get shiny variants of any card in this set, but I'm willing to bet all the bootlegs were shiny. And as you can see, they're slightly smaller than these types of cards as well, and the font for the number of Pokemon is slightly changed. And actually, none of these fonts are exactly what they're supposed to be. It looks like the bootleggers just tried to recreate the backs of these type of cards as best they could. But you'll notice on this one, they took out the Nintendo and Topps logo and all of the copyright information. And they haven't quite mastered the non-awkward line break. But I am really glad that these cards did really tell you Ash hasn't seen this yet. They get a little ridiculous with this though when they say how rare a gold duck is. A gold duck has not yet been seen in the wild by Ash or any other Pokemon trainers for that matter. Who cares if Mew's under the truck? I'm just hoping there's a gold duck under there. Oh, and just so you know, a Ninetales evolves from a Volpabluck. So, as some of you might know, it's quite likely you won't even get the set they promise on some of these bootleg packages. So, what else should we expect from the Team Rocket package but Fossil? These cards, by the way, are completely different feeling than any of the other Pokemon bootleg cards I got. These ones are much like most of the Pocket Monster bootleg cards I have. They're extremely glossy. And with this type, besides just feeling wrong immediately, you can notice how much more bright purple the bootleg is compared to a real card. I can at least give it to them that these ones don't feel cheap, but you can tell there's something immediately wrong with how glossy they look and feel. And even though these ones are fairly well done, you can still see some text clarity issues versus a real card. But at least these are all first edition like the package promised. I would have felt pretty ripped off if my stupid overly glossy bootleg Pokemon cards weren't first edition. It's worth so much more. The card that really stands out with this bootleg type is its holo. Look at this, they even spell the Pokemon's name right. Or this is just a good example of how different the coloring is because of how they did the foil. And the reason the coloring is a bit off on this holo card is because the holo foil actually is going across the whole card. That's why you can even see the seams of the holo foil on the edges of the card. Before we get to one of these other packs, let's talk about some of the loose ones I have. Why? Because I want to. Here we have Electrode from Neo Genesis, which is quite a feat as Electrode wasn't released in that set. So in actuality, this is Electrode from Jungle. I guess the bootleggers just thought it'd be a bit snazzier if they updated the set it was in. And it's always nice when a holo card is reverted to a regular card, though he does sort of make up for it with 680 HP. So if it wasn't obvious enough, you can clearly see where they changed something here, with the number being much clearer than the HP. They've also slightly increased the attack damage of Chain Lightning from 20 to 200. Is that really how much that attack does? I get the sense you might be cheating. My favorite change, though, is this nonsensical one for Tackle. They changed how much energy it takes to do it from 2 colorless to 4, but kind of forgot to put any damage or effect done by the move. That's just some of the pure awesome you get, though, with Edition 2. See, look at this non-Edition 2 Hitmonchan. His attacks do the correct damage, no overblown HP, garbage. And there's kind of the fact that Hitmonchan was always a holo in the base set. Ones like this are a little tougher to spot what's wrong on the backside, unlike the obvious purple ones, but they still have their tells. You can see that the border is still slightly more purple than real Pokemon cards here. Also, it looks like they blew out the contrast a bit on the Pokeball, so you lose a little bit of detailing that used to be there. And the Edition 2 assholes make it pretty simple to spot the differences on the backside by having the border darker than a real Pokemon card and having the inside picture more faded than a real one. Here we've got a bootleg of holo base set Wigglytuff. Again, only one problem with that, Wigglytuff wasn't in base set. This Wigglytuff is supposed to be from Jungle, but there were actually error cards printed that forgot the Jungle logo, so this is a bootleg of an error card. I kinda love that. You can also see that the holo foil pattern actually goes through the whole card ever so slightly with Wigglytuff. But here's what you've all been waiting for, Professor Oak Trainer Card Bootleg. And here's what you've always wanted to know about this bootleg. The Professor Oak on it looks more like the Japanese one than the English one, but the background color doesn't match either of them. What? Also, this is one of the best examples of the stupid blurry text thing, as it's so bad here you almost can't read it. Neo Genesis, aka Team Rocket, Abra. Well, nothing wrong here. They probably just felt like powering up Psyshock, a little since base set. Also, that Abra is high as fuck. Come on! Give me that one. But screw your measly high HP, Abra. Meowth here with his 720. Neo Rockasys Meowth is the best. Meowth party! Fucking chug, bitch! I can't! It's my last one! Unfortunately for Super Health Meowth, if altering the damage of an attack requires more than just changing the large number at the side, they forget to do it. But hey, at least now it takes 6 energy instead of 2 to do Coin Hurl. That's a bonus, right? Now here's the other kind of amazing thing about these Edition 2 cards. As Neo Genesis was the first set to include Generation 2 Pokemon, these ones did as well. But it seems like they put these out either just as Neo Genesis was coming out in Japan or slightly before. So these bootleg cards don't use the actual artwork the real Neo Genesis counterpart did. And their names, instead of being their English ones, are just an attempted romanization of their Japanese name. So in some places where they use an R, you might typically see an L on the romanization of that Pokemon's name. Also, Neo Genesis introduced Steel and Dark types to the Pokemon card game, which they are clearly missing here. Also, they make it kinda obvious that they just took these Pokemon and slapped them over another Pokemon's card. So apparently you should always play Sneasel, aka Neura, in tandem with Mr. Mime. Sneasel Neura is also kind of the worst holo foil card I've seen from the bootleggers, since the pattern is almost covered up by the background. Also kind of interesting, you can tell this is the same star pattern used for the holo foil as the Wigglytuff bootleg. The art used for some of these Generation 2 Pokemon looks particularly strange as well, like Skarmory, aka Iamudo here, who, by the way, evolves from Rhyhorn. I didn't know that. I wonder if a Magikarp was swapped out with Mooma, aka Misdrevious. They could have at least gone with a psychic one to replace it with, though the picture they have of Misdrevious is particularly blue, so maybe that threw them off. And this is why Misdrevious can't actually learn Flop in the games. It'd be far too powerful. And it can do damage just by evolving. That's a new one. But here's maybe the stupidest random type they went with. Bayleaf, or very few, is a fire type. Really, guys? Really? You got fire from that? It evolves from Charmander, though. Wait a second, what does Dark Charmeleon have to do with this? And this card is 153 out of 82. Wow, what a completely real fraction. And much like Electrode's 4 energy tackle, you get a 4 energy tail slap that does, I don't know. At least they were really consistent with the font on their upped damage attacks. Its tail is incredibly strong, able to lift up 5 adult men! I'll, take your word for that. Oh, and don't worry, Generation 2 Pokemon aren't the only ones that get to have some random type fun here. At least this fire-type Gyarados that evolves from Ponyta is on a fiery background. And it can do Stomp! With those legs it has. And here's my electric type Mewtwo, which I have a strong feeling might really be this Zapdos for some reason. Though, interestingly, they added a weakness, because we all know having a weakness is better than not having one, and they made it fighting, which is also what it resists, so it does normal damage, I guess? Funny enough, odd-type Pokemon like this was something that was actually done a bit later on with the Delta species, but the bootleggers beat them to it. Now let's Strange Mewtwo pack it up and... oh my god, guys. Super energy removal. I am shitting myself with excitement on that one. Here we've got an overpowered Edition 2 Dark Golduck with its super legit 6 energy placement to do Super Psy. And then we got Magikarp, who does 150 damage flops. Well, I suppose Magikarp is the flop master, though it doesn't cause damage from evolution like Mischievous. Maintenance. Darker. Potion? Holy fuck, this is the best pack ever. And look, the potion is slightly more zoomed in than the real one. That is so much more exciting than mistyped overpowered Pokemon. So, semi-interestingly, this pack has base set bootlegs with something I don't know if you guys are quite ready for. Line breaks at different words! Oh! I'm sorry. These ones are all the pretty uninteresting differences, unfortunately, though they're all shadowed versus my real unshadowed ones. And kinda surprisingly, this is my only energy bootleg, though that's a nice surprise. And holy shit, what is this? An actual rocket card from one of these rocket packs? Well, the Meowth pack is starting us off with some nicer goodies than the Mewtwo one. Another overpowered Pokemon, and yes, still using that same star holo foil background. We also got overpowered Dark Golbat. I love Edition 2 so much. Dark Weezing, who might be trying to hide his overpowered damage from you. Well, we've got Edition 2 throwing some basic guys into Neogenesis as well with Electabuzz here. And overpowered Machoke with its clear contradiction on its move. I don't want stupid no-damage Chankle again. I do want him again, though. I can never have enough bootleg Meows. Alright, here we go. Another G2 Pokemon disaster, this time with Blissey. Or as she's known when she evolves from Eevee, Happinasu. Yeah, it was really tricky to figure out which Pokemon this one evolved from. I see why they got confused. At least it's 3 times weak and 3 times resistant to fighting, and it costs 3 energy to retreat. Man, that's good! Also, that's totally how they write out extra resistance on the cards. Next, we got Fighting type Suicune, or Suicune, because it evolves from Cubone. This is another one like the Skarmory that looks particularly odd. I wonder where they even got this artwork from. Alright, last pack, and these ones of course aren't from Team Rocket either, but as a change, they're not from Neogenesis. These ones instead decide to say they are from the Gym set, using the logo for those that was only used in Japan. And this wide load Noctowl is your runes and this one seems to be one they at least put a little more effort than usual in, since it's based on an Onix, but they actually changed the moves some, with a particularly strange energy placement and dig under and scratch. These are also the first ones I've come across in these sets that are overpowered yet are still labeled Edition 1. Then we've got our holo of Croconaw, a middle stage Pokemon, so that usually doesn't happen. Or as it's known when it evolves from Dark Dragonair, Atreyu! And it looks like whatever they cut this artwork out from, it had a white backdrop, which made them accidentally cut out Croconaw's eye, too. Whoops. And yes, once again, it's the lovely holo foil star backdrop. More oddball artwork for a Girafarig that evolves from a Zubat. And this one sorta reminds me of Dark Golbat, though it's got extra weakness, and also its attack that does 20 damage does 90 damage. And here's a Ledian, or as this card lets us know, it's really a Redian. Also, it's a carnivore that swallows its prey whole. Pidgeys and Spearows are its favorite food. Holy fuck, stay away from ladybugs, which are also partially snakes. And now we have normal type Gengar. Also, guess what? This Gengar doesn't evolve from anything. then it's overpowered Matai. And once again, we get to flip our L's and R's with Ready-Ba. I kind of love that they decided these two weren't even the same type, and they decided the basic Pokemon was one that evolved from something, and the evolved Pokemon was a basic Pokemon. But at long last, it's time for Pikachu's evolution to get some love. Wait a second, Raichu, you get out of here. Here's Pikachu's real evolution, Chansey. And then we get Pokemon just slapped on trainer cards too. This trainer card is supposed to be Rocket Sneak Attack, but someone slapped a Natu on it because they either didn't know or care what they were doing. And now it's my absolute favorite one that I saved for last. Grass-type Mewtwo. This is one of those rare Mewtwo's you could get by evolving a Bellsprout, much like you could evolve a Magikarp into a Mew. But of course, neither are as rare as a Golduck. Grass-type Mewtwo is just so much better than Electric or Psychic-type Mewtwo. Why? Because you get two of them mirrored holding a giant Pokeball! What the fuck is that? That's definitely more fucked up and creative than Electric Mewtwo, so I like it a lot more. Though the only downside with Grass Mewtwo is it's not resistant to the same thing it's weak to.
Okay, and now I'm evolving my Bellsprout to Mewtwo and completely destroying your Zapdos with Razor Leaf!
Okay, seems legit.
I went to Chinatown and came back with the Pooh Train. Recently got to take a trip over to the Chinatown in Toronto and came back with a few goodies like this gem. I doubt anyone who had been in that store before was quite as excited to see the Pooh Train as much as I was. Though the lady running the store was actually really excited to show me this, she even took it out so that I could make sure it worked and gave me free batteries. Pooh Train. I am just so happy there's a Winnie the Pooh knockoff named Pooh Train. Well, apparently you can never leave Tigger off these packages as he's ready to take a ride on the Pooh Train. And funny enough, this is the exact same artwork they stole for Motorcycle the Pooh. Apparently cheap electronic Winnie the Pooh knockoffs get some of the best bootleg names. Aw, they're so happy. You know what they just did? Pooh Train! Hoorah! Come on, guys. It so obviously should have been Poorah. This will be a gift to give children the best. Well, they at least changed up the "this will be the best welcome gifts for the children" line. The Pooh Train promises light and music, which is slightly reasonable compared to "it will educate your children." But watch out, this can send out the Flash. Not just a Flash, the Flash. Oh, get out of here. And here's a little universal instructions for you. Universal, control car tread of direction. Well, I would expect nothing less from the Universal Rotary. Oh, over on the ass end, it's just a Flash. That's not nearly as cool as the Flash. I expect better from the butt on the Pooh Train. Apparently, they really need to make sure no one ever used this barcode, as they not only removed the sticker, but the front of the box. And here's the Pooh Train gang. Winnie the Pooh characters, and then oversized 3D girl. They fit together perfectly. Packaging design and in kind is different. Please understand. It's funny they have such an Englished up version of something they actually have written pretty clearly on the bottom of the box. And they even spelt color the right way, with a U. Unfortunately, with the real Pooh Train, you can't position him quite like they show him on the box, or it looks like he's got a giant ass that's about to explode. I'm sorry, I really shouldn't be so immature when talking about the Pooh Train. Still though, Pooh Train got back. Fucking fat-ass bear, motherfucker. Hoorah. Should be Poorah. The sticker decal on the back lets us know this is part of World Cartoon. Or cartoon world, and oh look, it's got the bee. You know, that symbol of Motorcycle the Pooh. This is the kind of knockoff I love because there are official things with Winnie the Pooh on a train, but they took it to the next level and made Winnie the Pooh the fucking train. I'm afraid that even outdoes you, Motorcycle the Pooh, on your four-wheeler. Interestingly, these guys' vehicles do share color schemes as well, with the purple, blue, and green. Apparently this guy can go in a circle. Have you even heard of such a thing? Amazing. You'd think, though, having that light stack jammed in your back, which produces the flash, might hurt a little. Oh, bother. Oh, he said it! Wait, maybe that was me. I don't know. It was too good. Pooh Train's also got a hook in the back, seeming to imply you could connect other cars. If there are actually other cars for Pooh Train, I need them. So are you guys ready to get this Pooh Train started? Nah, neither am I. I'm feeling a bit constipated, so let's put this thing back. Yes, anyway, we've got the speakers, the on switch, the spinny disc thing all on the bottom here. And before we get started, don't forget, this is 895. Yes, I am stalling just to be an asshole. Yes, that was No Limit by Two Unlimited, performed by Pooh Train. It's always just a special kind of magic when these things play a song that have nothing the fuck to do with the actual toy. And as you could see, the fucking bastard kept getting caught up on my backdrop. I would love to know, though, how it would actually work if you had other cars connected to his butt when he's doing that 360 spin. So let's try it. I expect this connection to break immediately. Woohoo! Attempt 2. This will go better. Okay, you don't want to work together? Fine! We'll have a face-off to the death to see who the better Pooh is. Get the great Pooh combos like this, and it's bound to be a perfect score for the overall because there's no limit! Except 10. 10's the limit. When I saw this, I knew I had to get my hands on a big cock. You want a big cock? Well, suck on this! Warning, some of the humor in this particular episode of Bootleg Zones might be a little extra immature. I have no idea why. Alright, so the big cock isn't really a bootleg or knockoff of anything, unless you want to consider it a knockoff of a real toy, or a cock. But if it's stupid-ass China shit like this, I'll feature it on the show. Sometimes you have to wonder, though, if this is actually English ignorance or if someone's having a fucking laugh. That's just outstanding incompetence if they really didn't know what they're doing to put big cock on a children's toy. So, should I even go over what's on the rest of the box? I mean, we're hardly gonna outdo Big Cock now, are we? But I guess we might as well. Wow, with music and light. Yeah, I would say wow if I saw music and light come from a big cock. That joke's sure gonna get old now, isn't it? Sure, they want to hide that name, but they'd never hide the big cock. Which, by the way, I couldn't find any listings for, but if you want to search up Big Cock yourself, be my guest. And I don't know about this logo. He just comes off really creepy, doesn't he? Oh, peace, motherfuckers. I got a big cock. And having a baby health education series right under Big Cock doesn't help the creepy factor. And I don't know what's with the accents above the letters that have been changed to hearts. I guess they just want you to know they love the cock. By the way, if you're getting annoyed with me saying cock, you probably shouldn't be watching a video on Big Cock. Alright, here's some points about the stupid thing. First, it's material of safety. What? Sure, I'm glad it's made of safety, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Acousto-optic. What? Look at this big cock! It has everything to do with the physics of light and sound waves. The fuck are you talking about? Bright colored, and even spelt with a U, I can give them that one. Fine quality, absolutely not. And I haven't even opened it yet. But look at these babies. They love the cock. Even though they're not with a cock, we'll assume that's what they're smiling about. Childhood playmates, clown. That's its own sentence, by the way. Clown at home. Hurry up to collect. Yeah, hurry up, baby. The fuck are you waiting for, asshole? Security. 100% environmental protection. Those sure are words we strung together with a percentage. Looks good. Holy fuck, this thing can't even tell me to put in the batteries without confusing the shit out of me. Install 3 grain of 1.5 volt AA battery? Grain? Do batteries come in grains now? Warm, prompt, early education experts is not something that even remotely makes sense in this world. But look at this, we got a story. I can't wait to read this. The baby is 1 year old and a half later for small things. And apparently this is a new sentence, even though we just ended with a comma. To observe the sensitive period of focus, can remember a lot. Guess that's the end of that sentence. Subtle difference and change things. For example, to distinguish the various animal forms, appearance, characteristic, and pattern of animals. I have no idea what the fuck I just said. Oh, good. We got an explanation on the flip side. I'm sure this will clear everything up. The appearance of the cute style. Yes, please do explain to me what the appearance of the cute style is. Lovely, naughty expression will let the baby fondle admiringly. Elegant appearance, collocation. Apparently that sentence ended somewhere that I missed. And collocation, a linguistics thing about words that are grouped together, has a lot to do with this. After all, big and cock usually go together, right? Anyway, collocation, bright colors, without a U on this side, it is easy to attract the attention of children. Small animal body at the bottom of the wheel. Use the high quality, wear-resisting durable materials. Substantially increase the speed of action. Wow, that is some high quality, awful sentences. Tail bubble grain revolve. Does that have something to do with the battery grains? Whatever, at least its tail or ass let us know that important info. Warning! Small parts and contents contain dangerous asphyxiation. Ising not suitable for 3 years and below. The child's PAs using must have the present adult in order to serve as guardian with guide. I'm impressed, Big Cock. I mean, we've seen the English phrases on these packages before, but this is a new level. Big Cock, educational toys, exercise, and the ability to inspire children. As the cornflakes rooster cries. Alright, well, here's my big cock. Not nearly as funny without the stupid package, is it? Also, there's 3 random circle-y things staticked onto the front of it. Don't know what the shit those are all about. The big cock doesn't really match what the package told us it looked like, now does it? It's not the same colors, and hell, it's not even the same mold. Guess that's why it's a big cock. I'm guessing from what its tail was saying on the box, it's supposed to be translucent plastic and you can see little beads rolling around as it moves, but the real one has solid white plastic, so no point to that. The package depicted a cock with legs, but the actual toy depicts a much more real cock with wheels. I love that all these stupid cheap electronic toys come with a little plastic disc to protect the wheels. For the actual toy itself inside the box, a few random styrofoam little circles are enough, but those wheels, fuck, we've got to have a little plastic cover. So 3 grain meant it needs 3 batteries, which isn't much of a shock, but I do love that the picture only depicts it having 2 battery slots and confident in every spot. Alright, let's stick a finger up its butt and turn my big cock on, so we can get these horrible jokes over with. We already heard that one, you big cock. So, Gangnam Style again. I guess from a big cock, I can't really say I'm surprised at this point. Though that is a much shorter loop of the song than Motorcycle the Pooh graced us with. Alright, so I know what you guys want. The ultimate showdown. This will no doubt go very poorly.
Clown.
Gangnam Style Party is about as amazing as its 100% random bullshit on the package. I am really glad I got it, so now I can finally say I've got a big cock.
Alright, Bit Hero, now here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take a ride on that big cock!
Oh, Steffi, this is exactly the type of thing our therapist talked about.
I know! He said you need to obey my orders without question!
No, he said that this is an abusive relationship and that we need to respect each other's feelings.
Exactly! And I feel like you feel like you're craving the feeling of having a big cock between your legs!
Steffi, is that a gay joke? Because you can't make a gay joke. Any gay joke at all is homophobic, you know. Oh, fuck my life.
Ah, this is great! Look even more pathetic, Bat Hero! I can't wait to show all your friends so they just make fun of you and stop respecting you!
Sexy lady, why?
And you can go to Pokemon 6's official website, www.pokemon.com. They might have meant go-pokemon.com, but Pokemon.com is a pretty neat site, too. And, ooh, would you look at that? I'm a winner! For the first time in my life, I'm a winner! Oh, yeah. Amazing. A reverse holo Clefairy. I'm excited. Oh, the Lost World. That's not in canon anymore. Volchi. Volchi. Is that its name? Volchi? I don't think so. Sweet, looks like we got some we didn't know the proper English names going on here, as Volibee is Volchi. So we started off this Call of Legends pack with actual Call of Legends cards, but it switched midway through to black and white. If you look very carefully at these cards, you'll notice that the font isn't exactly the same as a real one, which also causes line breaks to be in different spots. And holy fuck, look at that. I trust you see the difference there. So one of the interesting things about these bootlegs is these cards came out before their English counterparts, it seems. Or at least the bootleggers only had the Japanese ones to work off of. So you see some differences in translations, like Lightning Strike on the bootleg card was actually called Bolt Strike on the real one. Also, I absolutely love that Pokedex entry. Also, I've never seen illustration abbreviated ill.us. The black and white sets in Japan also had a different logo than the English Purina looking one. This is also when Japan decided to change their rarity symbols to just being letters rather than the shapes. Also, kinda interestingly, while the Pokemon cards did away with first edition once they started being done by the Pokemon Company, around the same time in Japan is when they started first doing first edition. So with them putting that logo on some of these, it gives you Japanese-style English first editions. Oh, come on, they're not even being consistent with the font size for the Pokemon's names within the same pack. I love that these cards don't even have exactly the same layout since they included cards from different sets within the same pack. Also, Dordia? No. Once again, these are attempted romanizations of their Japanese names rather than their official English ones. Wow, Jirachi's not even a holo in this set? No love for the third string Mew. Paganite is Cheobu. I love that they spelled it with the 2 U's as well. Makes me think of Majin Buu. Wow, more like Fade Ganium, am I right? By the way, this is a holo. Not a very good one, though. Every time we have a black and white Pokemon, it looks like it's going to be wrong, as Pharaoh Seed is Test Seed. Interviewers' questions. I got a question for you. Who gives a shit? Duobron. I guess it's like the Bran Flake version of Duosion. It's going to get kind of old if I compare all of them, so I'm just going to show you some of the more interesting ones. Like Volgina and Sungbear. Your soul is mine. Pokemon. Oh, energy. Oh, a dark energy. Thank fuck I finally got a bootleg dark energy. So from the rest of the packs, here's the other black and white naming fun with Swana, Dokitetsu, or something like that, Joroda, and Grantle. I don't have as many different ones to show you from these because, well, some of these packs started hitting me with the exact same cards except for the reverse holo they'd have in them. And look at how lucky I am to have pulled 3 of these ultra rare shiny Kyogres. They're even that super extra rare variant that aren't holo foil. Sweet! And it doesn't stop with Kyogre. I also got 3 ultra rare shiny holo foil Entei not holo foil. Yay! So rare. Now let's see what we got in our 3 random clear packs. I hope I got a Torterra, Lucario, and Machamp. Whoa, are you guys seeing this? I got a holo foil Machamp! And it's first edition!
I haven't been this excited since that last time I got a hollow foil Machamp that was first edition.
This seems to be a bit of a thing, though, with these bootlegs. Their hollow foils are particularly bland. The cards from this pack are bootlegs of the Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Undaunted set. And there's a lot of this should be hollow foil but isn't going on with these cards as well. This is especially apparent with these legend cards as they're so different and obviously only came in hollow foil versions. Here's an odd move switch on this Honchkrow. I don't know if they just didn't feel like translating what the move was, but instead they called it Hyper Beam, which kind of stands out since that's a normal move and not a dark move.
Dance till dawn! Dance till dawn!
Well, the bootleg Sneasel certainly knows the superior move in this case. You better watch out, you don't want to get beat up. Apparently the way these clear packs go is the top card's from a different set, in this case this Lucario's from Unleashed, and then the rest of the cards are all from Undaunted. This was unfortunately one of the most boring packs I've gone through. They all look pretty normal for the most part, except for more always hollow foil cards not being hollow foil. Okay, but the Torterra pack takes the prize for the most disappointing, as it was mostly a copy of the Machamp pack. Sorry, I didn't realize those strange clear packs would be so boring. The Call of Legends booster packs definitely had the more interesting stuff. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to scam someone on eBay.
Why aren't those hollow foil?
Ah, shit.
Watching, and we'll see you in the morning. MAGA.